In 2023, is driving for Roadie worth it? Now, if that's not really the first side hustle that comes to mind, I agree. It's not certainly one of the most popular, but now it's backed by UPS. So this is something we really need to consider. And in this video, I got the pros and the cons and a lot to talk about so we can get to a final verdict. So what exactly is Roadie? So this is one of those last mile delivery services, delivering packages, so no ride share here. Now you need to be at least 18 years of age, have basic auto insurance, have a social security number, clean driving record, and as a Roadie driver, at least a 4-star rating out of 5, which I think is pretty lenient. So I mentioned now owned by UPS, actually acquired in Q4 of 2021. So the entirety of 2022 was Roadie's first year under this new ownership. Okay, so you're delivering packages, now backed by UPS, but what's the pay like? Because you got a lot of options in this gig economy. So Roadie states, quote, drivers on average are earning $13 per trip on local gigs and $650 on long trips. Okay, but speaking of pay, actually in my research, in Roadie's own example, check it out here. This example equates to $1.10 paid out per mile and $15.33 paid out per gig. Now, our channel goal here as a measure of vehicle efficiency, the dollars to mile ratio, how much am I getting paid for the miles driven, is $1.75. So just an example, but $1.10 there. Okay, so generally we know what Roadie is. We're delivering packages. We saw an example. We saw some pay quotes even from the company. So now in my deep research, let me show you my pros and cons so we can make a decision. I'll tell you as someone who's been activated as a Roadie driver for years and doing my recent research for this video for you, I'll tell you that the app's laid out well. It works. It's now backed by UPS. We got tons of clear FAQs and walkthroughs for drivers like you. And I mean, when you're doing these deliveries, they have protection measures like cancellation fees. So if you're on your way to make a delivery and for whatever reason the customer cancels, they'll at least pay you for that. But then you're kind of left with the stuff. So you'd have to return the stuff. And does that really make sense? Now, note, I didn't say anything about bonus pay or pay in general. So now let's get into the cons. One very unique thing with Roadie is when you're getting these gigs and these offers, they'll show up as little icons on your map here. You have to submit to be matched with those gigs. So this is very, very different than most any other niche, any other app in the gig economy. So food delivery, ride share, grocery, even package like GoPuff, Amazon Flex, Spark most everyone. So there, they'll give you an option and you'll accept it or decline it, either on a one-off basis or you'll schedule a shift, let's say like Amazon Flex, and they give you that time slot to sign up for. But for Roadie, this is really grouped offers. So you'll see the offers as well as other drivers in your marketplace. And yes, you have to submit for the gig and hopefully get matched. And here's the thing, even Roadie says it's going to be difficult to get matched. I mean, they say, quote, sometimes getting selected for gigs can be tough. Our gig matching algorithm considers many different factors to find the best driver. And with multiple drivers bidding on the same gig, again, they say the competition can be high. The only thing I can think of that's related to this is Trip Radar on Uber and Uber Eats, where multiple couriers will see that request at the same time and will be matched algorithmically based on a lot of different features to select the best courier or a rideshare driver in that case. So yeah, here again, Roadie says it's going to be tough to get matched. And they say, quote, once a driver offers on a delivery, our algorithm takes hundreds of variables into account. Think factors like vehicle size, time of day, past delivery preferences, and even what drivers are currently delivering. And also, there's no one factor that guarantees a driver will get assigned. So even if a driver is standing right at the pickup location, that doesn't guarantee you'll get a gig. So no guarantees you're going to get matched. And I guarantee that your time is valuable. So can you imagine trying to be like the best, have the best metrics, be close to the pickup location, and it doesn't even guarantee that you're going to get it, but how long though? I mean, if you submit and you get declined instantly, well, okay, I can do something else or submit to another gig. Well, they say, quote, you'll be notified in 15 minutes or less if your offer to complete the gig was accepted. Now, the only problem with that is if you're let's say multi-niching. So you're doing food delivery, submitting for Roadie, looking at other stuff as well. Then if you're on an assignment, you only have a 15-minute window to let's say pick up a food delivery run. And what happens if you get selected sooner than that in 5 minutes, 6 minutes? So are you at the mercy of well, they said I'm going to know in 15 minutes or less. What can I do? If anything, can I do anything in the meantime while I'm waiting to get matched? Okay, but the wait would be worth it if the pay is worth it. I mean, I've waited at food delivery runs at restaurants because the pay was exceptional. So is the pay exceptional on Roadie? So I pulled these order examples from multiple days here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I know this is one market segment over a couple of days here. So we'll compare and contrast. Comment down below if you like Roadie and the average pay, let's say per mile or in general just per gig. Comment down below so we can compare and contrast. But I just clicked on a few to measure our metrics, which is the dollars to mile ratio. And I need you to understand the difference between cash flow and margin. I'm going to show you an example that really illustrates that in a little bit. So first example, this is paying $1.13 per mile. But the thing is, there's also 10 deliveries. Now this is quoted at 1 hour and 39 minutes paying $45.12. So what do you think for 10 deliveries, for that pay per mile, for the time and the gross pay? But let's move on. This next one, well, it's $1.49 paid out per mile for 20 minutes, quoted for $14.93. Okay, still not hitting our channel goal of $1.75 per mile. And honestly, I want you to hit $2 to $3 paid out per mile. But again, let's continue. This one, 80 cents per mile for 53 minutes for $33.46. Now, this is the one I wanted you to pay attention to that really illustrates the cash flow versus margin. So to help you understand that dollars to mile ratio, all that is that gross pay, $33.46 divided by the mile. So you're getting the 80 cents paid per mile. So you're not getting a good payout per mile, just 80 cents, but let's look at the cash flow. So $33.46, that's your gross revenue for 53 minutes. Now, our channel goal here per hour for gross revenue, just, what you're getting paid here for your work, is $25 per hour. So again, going back to this, $33.46 for less than an hour, well, that would satisfy our gross revenue per hour. So I need you to understand, are you going for cash flow or are you going for margin? Comment down below your strategy here. When it comes to your strategy, you need to understand really which one are you going to favor. So $33.46 for less than an hour, that meets our channel goal of $25 per hour in gross revenue. But then you're driving a lot of miles, incurring expenses and wear and tear on that vehicle, and you're not getting a lot of pay per mile. I'm going to show you 2 more examples, but if you're getting value in this video, can you drop a like, consider subscribing? This is all I do here. I help you make money in different side hustles. Now this one, $1.89 paid out per mile, which is better, $26.50 on the gross revenue, but this does have 6 deliveries, something to consider. And last example, $1.60 paid out per mile, 27 minutes and 19:23. So final verdict, I have a lot to say here, is driving for Roadie really worth it in 2023? In my opinion, as someone who's been activated on Roadie for some time, and I look at that app constantly, at least a couple of times a month for new features, the pay, any changes, etc., in my honest opinion, I feel like Roadie is best as a filler app. And if I remember correctly, years ago, I believe their verbiage was really if you're on your way to that destination, that's how they are positioning this app. So that is really how I'd use it. So any of the examples or the examples in your marketplace, the prospective orders rather, that if you're already headed in that direction, if you're already in that area, then it's something, right? Because you're headed that way anyway. So So you'll get paid for doing a simple gig. And yes, the pay isn't the best. It's not as high as other side hustles, but it could be an option. But conversely, remember the matching system, the difficulty in the matching system. So would there be how much wasted time trying to submit to gigs? And also keep in mind, I wouldn't really recommend commuting far to these gigs. So remember that mileage from that starting and ending destination, it's not usually, from what I've seen, in your immediate zone. So you're going to have to commute up there, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes away. So you would want to be really selective, ideally selecting gigs that are within a, let's say, 10-minute radius. I mean, maybe Roadie's more scalable as you get better ratings on your account. I know other apps that really favor metrics like Walmart Spark. So with Roadie, as you improve your metrics, more deliveries, better whatever, vehicle setup, what have you, that you'll get more matches. You'll have a better accuracy of submitting and then getting paired versus just waiting and wasting your time. But in my opinion, listen to this. It always really just comes down to the numbers. So there's already challenges, in my opinion, with that matching system on Roadie. The pay doesn't seem that great compared to other apps. It can sometimes be larger gigs, but obviously if you can't take larger gigs, you're not going to submit to that. But it really just comes down to the numbers. That dollars to mile ratio, yes, you could cash flow. Maybe this is an opportunity if you just want to cash flow, but the dollars to mile ratio, then ultimately the dollars to time ratio, how much am I getting paid, and how much time is this really going to take? So those filler apps are really just used for completely dead days, having another option, if food delivery, if grocery, if parcel. If other apps and niches aren't really doing well, then you turn to the filler apps to see, hey, what's going on over here? Can I at least get something? But comment down below. Do you agree? Do you love Roadie? Do you hate Roadie? How is the pay in your marketplace? I need to know. Comment that down below. Drop a like in this video if you got value. You can also click or tap the screen here for my newest video, as well as a video recommended for you, and I'll see you in the next one.